Hello everyone! If you're thinking about starting a new comic this year but it got a little overwhelming, as someone who has completed 3 comics, one of which became a book, and one of which was just pure brain rot fun, I still struggle to this day on starting a new comic. Like, I literally had a whole live stream where I was talking about all my abandoned comic projects and why it didn't work out. Like, this one was my first ever comic, it was going nowhere. This one had a world building so big, it wouldn't fit into my deadline. This one was too dark and edgy for my brand. This one needed a lot of help with environment and background, and I don't really like drawing background. I haven't completely dropped this one yet, but I started wondering, do we really need another BL high school love story? And this one is actually something I'm currently working on or interested in. But the moment I decided I want to color my comics this time around, I just don't like coloring as much as I used to. At the end though, of all my excuses, what really came down to it was that I was afraid. I was afraid of starting again. I was afraid that this means years and years of grinding again. In this specific video though, we are first going to focus on how to settle on an idea. And then maybe in the future, we can talk about how to actually start the actual comic. The first tip of getting started on your comic is planning. This is probably the most daunting yet fun task for me actually, just because I love to fantasize about my comics. I'm not really talking about story planning in this one. I'm talking about writing up a business proposal of your comic. I know this sounds insane for someone who is just probably making comics for fun. I'm going to show you an example of a comic that I'm interested in. The title of the comic is called Sadie, the Scaredy Cat. Genre is slice of life, comedy. Deadline preferably in 3 years. This varies from one person to another, and usually I don't really finish it in 3 years either way. The art style reference is cartoons, concept art. The budget is 500 USD. I'm willing to spend on this comic for commercial purposes, but if it does well, I'm always okay to adding more into it. The keywords are cozy, funny, relatable, and cats. Is it merch friendly? Yes, hell yes. Do you have an expandable storyline? Yes and no. Let me explain this real quick. Yes, if the comic gets picked up, becomes an official webtoon and whatnot, I can churn out 100+ episodes. I'm talking seasons. No, because I always prefer my comic to reach a natural end instead. Summary for the comic is: the world is a scary place and Sadie is always afraid. This is really rough, don't judge. But yeah, one thing about me is that I never go into meticulous story planning until I have 3 or 5 episodes of visual development on my episodes. That's because I find that it's important to see if you enjoy the drawing process first before you have like a 100-page essay plot that you might never see it come to drawing because you didn't enjoy the drawing process of it all. Sometimes even if you just start drawing on an idea, you can still make the story as it goes. Like, at the end of the day, I guess it comes down to how you usually work, but I find that it's safe to start on a couple of panels before you finish writing an entire story. Life is unpredictable. I get it. You could be getting your first job, you could be getting your degree. However, that's just time not going to be allocated into your comics. Which is why I think there's so many abandoned comics. It's not because they don't like their fans or whatever, I just think they don't have time. So what are you going to do when life messes up your comic schedule like that? I find that on very exhausting days for myself, even if I just show up or sit at my desk for 30 minutes and just set an alarm for it. I find that I usually work more than that, you know, because showing up, I think, is the most important part of the comic process. The reality is, once you lose the momentum, you're just gonna have a really hard time getting it back. I was originally gonna write motivation for this one, but you, me, we all know that shit never comes, okay? If you are looking for some kind of motivation, maybe you can try the Webtoon 2025 contest. Either way, instead of waiting for motivation to come, I find that finding yourself a network of good support system, say your art school friends, your online art friends, or even just the community where we can all talk about the struggles of making art. Shout out to my Art Jam Discord. We draw and we VC every week, and yeah, if you're interested to join, feel free to join with the link in the description. But yeah, I find that most artists are willing to work on their comics more when they just can talk about the process more, or even if they just found like a cool new brush for their comic, or discussing plots for fun and whatnot. I always find that it's more motivating and they're more likely to finish. Either way, being able to talk and meet other artists is always better than waiting for motivation to come to you. This is how I navigated through my comics. Leave a comment down below what other problems you face when starting a comic. Either way, feel free to like and subscribe if you found the video helpful and if you would like to see more videos like this. I also have a comic book out called Dear Alice. It is available on Amazon and it's just a really cute, cozy little black and white comic. If you're looking for something new to read on a physical book, consider checking the comic book out. Just like Patreon, I now have YouTube memberships where for $1 a month you get to see early access videos and videos that have been made exclusive, even just videos without ads. I also now do IRL live streams every Wednesday GMT +8 on YouTube, so if you would like to come and say hi and talk to other artists in the chat, feel free to join and I'll see you every week. And finally, thank you to my Patreons and new YouTube members. I appreciate the support as usual. Till then, I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.